Am I my brother's keeper? And I'd like to thank the United Way for allowing me to share my story. It will be my theme and glory. I was the younger of two girls, typical Beaver, Cleaver, American Dream family. My dad was a pilot in the Air Force, and my mom stayed at home to fine-tune the art of domestic engineer. One out of every 4 women in this country will survive domestic violence. It's the 4th leading cause of homelessness. It accounts for 23% of non-fatal violent crimes, and it costs taxpayers $5.8 billion every year. Just over 6 years ago, I was pregnant, alone, homeless, and unemployed. By the grace of God, my child and I survived, and I put my trust in Him. I received a resource packet from Broward County Family Services, and I started making phone calls. I qualified for Healthy Start, and soon a case manager from Healthy Mothers, Healthy Babies was coming to my own home. Well, the tiny little efficiency I managed to afford to provide childbirth education. My case manager was heaven sent. Not only did she provide everything I needed to know about taking care of myself and a newborn, but she provided stability and support and confidence. She was a pillar in my life during that time I needed one most. She was key in opening several doors, including rent assistance and subsidized daycare through Family Central. God always puts the right people in the right place at the right time, and I pray that that case manager knows what a blessing she was. I had spent 15 years in retail management, but that career wouldn't be feasible as a single mother due to the work hours. My quest for subsidized daycare led to acceptance into a Workforce One retraining program, which allowed me to go back to school for almost nothing. Ultimately, that retraining program provided the means to gainful employment, which allows me to be a successful single mother. During the retraining program, I was required to report to a Workforce One case manager. It was there that I found out about the free VITA income tax services, and that led to my first earned income tax credit check. That month, I wasn't sure how I was going to pay my rent. Thank goodness for that check, or I may have been back out on the streets. After my son Seth was born, that tiny efficiency became unmanageable. Seth's development was slowed because of his lack of room to move. The second year I received my EITC check, I was able to move into a 1-bedroom apartment, and within a month, Seth was walking, and his development soon exceeded that of his classmates. The following years, EITC allowed me to pay off all the debts I had accumulated during the abuse, and even put enough money away for a down payment on a home through Bank Atlantic's Homeless to Homeowners program. Seth and I moved into a beautiful 2-bedroom condo on Lake Emerald in March. Finally, the Lord never ceases to amaze me. He used the most difficult time in my life to ultimately serve others experiencing similar difficulties. I've been the Director of Administration for the Shepherd's Way Homeless Ministry for the last 3 years. And get this, the Shepherd's Way has been a United Way funded agency since 2002. We're actually recipients of several of the programs that Jennifer spoke of earlier. Ultimately, the funding the Shepherd's Way receives from the United Way makes my job possible. I have to agree, now more than ever, any given day, there are more than 200 families on the streets of our community awaiting shelter. 20% of those on the waiting list are children. Which brings me back to that question. Am I my brother's keeper? You are a member of this community. You live here, you work here, you raise children here, and hopefully you play here. The best way to support and build your community is through giving to the United Way. The circle of life, from Healthy Mothers, Healthy Babies to the Shepherd's Way, from childbirth education to gainful employment. United Way was there providing the resources to achieve the unimaginable. I am so grateful and indebted to the United Way of Broward County. If it weren't for the United Way partners, I wouldn't be here today, and I can't think of where my son might be. I'd like to introduce to you my greatest gift. This is Seth. and this is success. Thank you. May each of you be equally blessed, and I challenge you now more than ever, be your brother's keeper. God be with you.